Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will present to you about the movies that we watch. First, Scene 1 and second is Scene 2. We are from TMA 2 and here are the 4 members in this group.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name ASRIN binti ASMAWI, matrix number 1192215.
Assalamualaikum and hi doctor. My name's IRSAL HAKIMA binti ROSLI. My matric number 1192229.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Indah Syazwani binti AHMAD PIRDAUS and my matric number is 1192813.
Hi, I am Cik NURUL SYAFIQAH binti SIDEK. My matric number is 1192817.
I would like to share about the summary of this movie. Scene movie starts with an ambitious scholar, Buster Moon, who loved to watch theatre since 6 years old with his father, and because of his passion in theatre art field, he able to build his own Moon Theatre and become a manager. In the beginning of the story, there is a conflict of the theatre management in terms of not paying the workers' salaries and had a financial problem. After some previous event did not work out, and Eddie, his best friend, said his father did not want to find any shows anymore. However, Moon did not give up and take the alternative to solve the financial problems by come up with another event idea. He planned to hold a singing competition. Then he back to the office and asked his personal assistant, Miss Crawley, to create advertisement flyers for an audition and the winner will receive the grand prize of $1,000. Unfortunately, Miss Crawley had typo on the prize amount which stated $100,000 instead of $1,000 only. Things become more worse when the flyers has been inadvertently announcement and got attract a lot of people to become a new talent and win the prize. On the day of the open singing audition, Buster Moon and Miss Crawley being the judges. The result chosen for the category are the Three Frogs and Ash. For solo singer, Johnny and Mike has been selected while Rosita and Gunter was chosen to be paired. That was a good news for all the talent, but behind that, they has their own personal conflict. Based on each background, Johnny is the son of a robber and he trained to become just like his father. But actually, Johnny doesn't like to rob and because his passion is on singing. Meanwhile, Mike is a rat who very showy with his vocal talent and likes to show off his wealth. Ash having the hard time while her boyfriend had cheated on her. Ash becomes so broken on the day before the show. Rosita, which is a busy piggy mommy that have a lot of children. Mina, a teenage elephant, also loved to join the theatre but she failed due to the lack of confidence and stage fright. Due to the large amount of money to pay the bank debt, Mr. Boone asked for Nana's help. Nana Noodleman is Eddie's grandmother, which is rich but fierce. He asked for Nana for being the sponsor for his event competition, but Nana was refused to help due to the uncertainty of Moon's ability. However, Moon managed to convince Nana to come for the theatre special shows to gain Nana's trust. On the day, at first Nana was very excited for the grand opening shows until there was a scene happen when the gangster chased for Mike because of his cheating and stealing money. The situation at that time very tense since the exact price amount was revealed to all talent and they start to lose their trust to Mr. Moon. Suddenly, the stage had damaged and the aquarium background was cracked. Moon's beloved building was completely collapsed. Mr. Moon was very sad and down because he felt that he was a failed koala. He locked himself and opened a car wash service. Suddenly, he heard a beautiful voice come from the top of the collapsed building. Mina was singing. He asked for Mina to join his theatre. The show goes well and get the recognition from the residents. All the cast present their talent perfectly. Moreover, the conflict between Johnny and his dad also settled because his dad felt so proud of his son. Meanwhile, Rosita's husband being a supportive, while Ash get to sing her own song and prove she had a rock genre talent. Mina break her stage fright and enjoy her show. Luckily, Nana also amazed with the shows and agreed to being the sponsorship of Moon Theatre. Nana buy the land and rebuild the Moon Theatre. The Moon Theatre get more recognition and become a great entertainment center. Connection from Scene 1, Scene 2 movie storyline shows the Moon Theatre get to create a lot of great shows in the city. One day, Buster tries to impress talent scout Suki, but he fails. Then she tells him that he would not make it in the big league of theatre nearby Red Shore City. However, Nana Noodleman encourage and support Mr. Moon to achieve his dreams to become a successful theatre manager. He reunites the singers and takes them to the Red Shore City. They try to sneak in for an audition entertainment with Jimmy Crystal, who runs the Crystal Entertainment. After a lot of contestants present their talent, Jimmy is still not satisfied with the ideas, including Buster's original pitch. Suddenly, the clumsy counter suggests a space theme musical that includes songs from Clay Calloway, a legendary rock star who has not been seen in 15 years. Jimmy gives green light to the Buster Moon to plan and run the show in 3 weeks only. During rehearsal, Rosita developed her fear of height and unable to play her role. Portia, Jimmy's daughter, wants to play Rosita's role, but Moon refused. However, Jimmy forced Buster Moon to give the main role to his daughter, while Rosita relegated to a minor role only. Meanwhile, Johnny has been assigned to work with top choreographer Klaus Kinkelber for his part in the show, but he says that Klaus doesn't like him. Johnny met Nushi, the street dancer, and asked her to help and teach him to dance. Mina was kept the roles in a romantic scenes with Darius, a self-absorbed actor. Since Mina never been in love before, she unable to express her feelings across during their scene. But then, she met and falls in love with an ice cream vendor named Alfonso. Ash and Buster Moon visits Clay Calloway to convince him to be in the show. At first, he refused because he's unable to move on due to the death of his wife Ruby. But Ash changes his mind. Back at the theater, Buster asks Portia to switch roles with Rosita, but Portia misinterprets that Moon firing her. Jimmy gets angry and threatens Moon by nearly throwing him off his building before locking him in the closet. Suki helps release Moon. Ash arrived with the crew and Calloway. Clay Calloway advised Buster Moon not to run and hide as he did before. Buster Moon decided to have the cast and crew put on the show one night behind Jimmy's back and has Miss Crawley get Portia to rejoin the show. During the show, while Johnny performs, a jealous Klaus tries to disturb, but Johnny gets encouragement from Nushi and finally earns Klaus' respect. Portia performs a high-energy song and earning the adoration of the crowds. Mina tries to visualize Darius as Alfonso and performs a romantic duet with him. Jimmy tries to stop the show by throwing Moon off the top of the stage. Rosita overcomes her fear and saves Moon. Calloway is suddenly not ready to be on stage. Ash leads the crowd of rendition of one of Calloway's songs. The crowd by giving him the courage to perform. The end of the show, Jimmy tries to take credit for the show, but he arrested by the police due to Suki's report. The next day, Buster Moon and his friend prepare to leave the city, but Suki stops them and tells them that a major theatre wants to put on their show. They agree and excited. As the cast puts on their performance, Buster Moon watches from the VIP section with Nana and other family cast. He felt so proud to have succeeded in Red Shore City.
The first topic we think related is Chapter 5, which is Perception and Individual Decision Making. Making decisions happen in response to an issue. We all know that while making a decision, first we must define the issue, then choose the criteria, next create and assess the options, and finally choose the best one. Individuals organize and interpret their sensory perception, truth perception, in order to give their environment context. To be example, in scene 1 can be seen to cast Mina that facing the problem of stage fright. She struggled with herself to overcome the matter. Mina has been able to overcome her anxiety thanks to her cause attempts in help Buster Moon and the fact of Glade to Buster Moon in hearing Mina's soft voice. In scene 2 can be seen to cast Buster Moon and Clay Calloway. We choose Buster Moon because he struggled in many ways to persuade Clay Calloway. Clay that doesn't perform a song as well as his wife died. So Ash tried convince with him, try persuade with him in any sentence or advice, and Clay want to sing again. So in that two example, we think that be related in chapter 5. The next topic think to be related is chapter 10, which is understanding word themes. Working in a team encourage personal development, improve job satisfaction, and help us feel less stressed. To be a strong explanation, we obtain a strong relationship with the team. Colleagues who work well together are more likely to stay friends. Team members get to know one another better, gain a deeper grasp of each other's abilities, and communicate more naturally, freely, and openly. So, to be example, in scene 1, when that time the building collapsed due to an accident and the bank quickly took possession of it. All of them down a while, but one day, something knocked Buster Moon out. He regrouped all the participants, discussed with them, and they give good cooperation until Buster Moon get their theatre event back and Nana approve it. In scene 2, in first, Buster Moon must impress Jimmy Crystal for future theatre site, but after having a construction among all of them, Jimmy ragging and want to kill Buster Moon. Thanks to all participate and Clay Chloe because having a confidence to perform, and we think Buster Moon get the better theatre site. So, in the two example, we think that is related in chapter 10.
Next, I will continue about the topic that closely related with our movie. The stories of Scene 1 and Scene 2 are closely related to the leadership and power chapter. Leadership is the ability to influence a group towards the achievement of a vision or set of goals, which means the ability and capability of Mr. Buster Moon to influence his theatre group to create a successful theatre and have a very interesting performance. And power refers to the capacity that Mr. Buster Moon has to influence the behavior of his team theatre, so they will act in accordance with what Mr. Buster Moon wishes and intends. Furthermore, in order to achieve the theatre objective. And there have two scenes that show about what we have learned. Firstly, about the coercive power. Coercive power is, for example, if A asks B to do some job task and B does not do the work based on what is directed, so A can dismiss, suspend, demote, or embarrass B, which is Mr. Crystal asks Mr. Buster Moon and his team to find long-lost Clay Calloway and include Clay Calloway in the shows as well. And if his request could not be fulfilled, they will be thrown out, or in other words, will be terminated. Secondly, expert power, who has knowledge and expertise on something, and it shows that due to the Nushi skills and knowledge she has about dancing, she make and use that power for Johnny to learn from her. And it really shows that expert power is more effective than formal power, as Nushi has proven that she will successfully teach Johnny in just 2 days, and it is proven that Johnny is successful and proficient in dance.
What is conflict and a negotiation? Conflict is a process that begins one party perceives that other party has negatively affected or is about to negatively affect something that the first party cares about, while negotiation is a process in which two or more parties exchange goods and services and attempt to agree upon the exchange rate for them. For example, in Sing, Buster was in a trouble because he owed money to the bank and had appealed to give him some time to settle the debt. Then he wanted to hold a singing competition in his theatre and a prize of $1,000. Buster Moon wanted to ask for funds from Miss Nena because the poster that had been sprayed was apparently mistaken for the amount of $100,000. This is a mistake that his assistant Miss Crowley has made. Miss Nena is reluctant to sponsor the prizes money, but she agrees to attend a personal preview of the show before making a decision. There are two deadly conflicts, which mean conflict between two people, among Buster Moon with Judith and Buster Moon with Miss Nena. At the end of the story, Miss Nena has agreed to sponsor and has purchased the Buster Theatre from the banker Judith. This is because Buster has proven that he has managed to attract the attention of public to watch the theatrical performances from his group. In Scene 2, Portia, the daughter of Wolf Jimmy Crystal, is included in the Buster Moon group. Buster asks Portia if she wants to swap roles with Rosita because she is not good at acting. Portia had misinterpreted Buster's intentions and complained to her father, Jimmy Crystal, that Buster Moon had fired her from the group. Upon learning of this, Jimmy supports Portia and threatens Buster by nearly throwing out of his building before locking Buster in a closet. Buster then decides to have the cast and crew put on the show one night behind Jimmy's back and asks Miss Crowley to get Portia to rejoin them in the show. Portia was very happy to be able to perform high-energy songs and dances as well as get public praise, even though her father tried to stop the show. Here, we can show that there is a conflict in a group where Portia has assumed that Buster and other group members do not like her. This conflict is called intra-group conflict occurs within a group or team. At the end of the Sing 2 story, Jimmy Crystal has been arrested by the police for his cruelty. Okay, so overall, men and women negotiate differently, and these differences affect outcomes. There is some merits to the popular stereotype that women are more cooperative, pleasant, and relationship-oriented in negotiations than men. These gender differences can be reduced at the organizational and individual levels. This can be proved that negotiating with Miss Nena is easier than Jimmy Crystal, who likes to use force.
Next, I will continue with our three favorite characters, which are Mr. Buster Moon as the director of Theatre Moon, Rosita as a member of the Moon Theatre Group and mom of her 25 children, and last but not least, Mina as a member of Moon Theatre Group, who has a voice that very beautiful but embracing to perform in front of crowd. And why did we choose them as our favorite character? For your information, they have a very positive attitude. So the reason we choose them is definitely the attitude of not giving up in them to achieve their goals and dreams and give each other support. So, what proof that they are not giving up and being supportive? For Mr. Buster Moon, due to Miss Crowley's misprinting of the $100,000 prize money, which was supposed to be only $1,000, but Mr. Buster Moon did not give up on finding a solution by persuading Nana Duderman to be a sponsor of the competition. Next, for the Rosita, who is supportive and caring person, as she and Gunter cheer up and give support to Ash, who was cheated on by Lance, her boyfriend. Other than that, for Mina, due to Mina being a very shy person and she failed at the first audition, but she never gave up to trying to overcome her shy nature by asking for a second chance from Mr. Buster Moon, and she also always made a point of singing practice alone. And we conclude that the attitude of not giving up and mutual support plays a very important role in helping us to achieve whatever we dream of.
Okay, so the three lessons we have learned from this Sing 1 and Sing 2 story are, okay, first, don't let fear fail to stop us from doing the things we love. Sometimes life can be scary. If we really like to do something, then we should not avoid doing it just because we are not sure how things will turn out. Sometimes we must be brave because we will not be truly happy until we overcome the fear and do the things we love. Okay, this happened to Mina, the female elephant. Mina did not dare to show up and show her melodious vocal talents in public, even though she has a family that always support her. When she wanted to try singing on the stage, her body started to shiver and she would keep running away from the stage. Until Buster Moon heard his melodious voice and gave her words of encouragement. And after that, Mina managed to control her shivers and dare to sing on stage in front of the crowd. Second, we believe in ourselves. It may be difficult to believe in ourselves sometimes, but if we don't believe, then we will never dare to try new things. We will never know what we are capable of unless we try first. Johnny, a gorilla, is the son of a big daddy mobster who wants him to follow in his footsteps of crime. But Johnny aspires to be a singer. When Johnny finally trees himself and follows his dreams, the talent, energy, and soul within him is poured into the music during his performance. What Johnny really wants is approval from his father. 3 is about friendship. Busterman feels a failure because of his failure to defend the theater gifts by his late father. But his feelings did not last long because he had a supportive team or friend. 5 participants appeared: a mouse, a shy elephant, a pig, a gorilla, and a punk rock of hedgehog. They had different bodies, but their hearts and souls were once against the song. They rose together to make a show at the Booster Moon Theatre despite having collapsed to the ground. Here we can see that participants have formed a bond. They want each other to succeed. They encourage each other to take the leap of faith. Eventually, all the characters come together to help their friend show the true meaning of friendship.